Hello, Gators. Welcome back to a new week. Happy Monday. We're going to get started here this morning by marking our knowledge check number 2, that is on solving equations involving integers, where we'll be using some algebra tiles. So, our first question here, 1a. The equation reads x plus 5 equals 11. So how do we do this question using tiles? Well, we break it into two separate sides. So we first have what's on our left side and what's on our right side of the equal sign. What we're essentially trying to do here is balance both these sides and isolate our variable. So isolating our variable means getting this x so that it's all alone on this side. So let's start by drawing what we have using tiles. Remember that a clear tile, so non-shaded in, equals a positive number. A tile that is shaded in equals a negative number. I'll leave that there just for this question so we can write that down somewhere so you have it as well if you did not do that. So, getting started, what do we have on this left side? We have positive 5. So we're going to draw 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 tiles. How do we represent the variable? We represent that with a rectangle. So just a non-shaded in rectangle because it is a positive variable. On my right side I have 11, and that's positive. So 11 tiles non-shaded in, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Now what I have to do to get this x alone, to isolate it, I want this rectangle here to be alone. I don't want any of these tiles left on this side when I'm done. So I've got 5 positives here. I have to insert in 5 negatives. So draw those 5 negative tiles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I draw those in. If I drew 5 negatives on this left side, I need to draw 5 negatives on my right side. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So now our last step is to start canceling out our 0 pairs. We've done that earlier this year. And if you don't remember, canceling out those 0 pairs are canceling a positive for a negative because it creates 0. So 1 positive for 1 negative equals a 0. That's why it's called a 0 pair. Cancel it again, a positive for a negative, a positive for a negative, a positive for a negative, and a positive for a negative. So what we're left with on this side is our variable x. We've isolated it, we've got it alone. And on this side, we cancel out 1 for 1, 1 for 1, 1 for 1, 1 for 1. What are we left with? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So equals, on this side, we're left with 6. So in the end, your answer should be x equals 6. So there's 1 mark there. There's 1 mark for showing me that you have kind of answered using tiles. So each one will be out of 2 marks because you have 1 mark for answering with tiles, 1 mark for the answer. And if you wanted to double check your work, you could plug that 6 back up in your answer. 6 plus 5 does equal 11. We've done it right. Well done. So 2 marks per question. There is 1A. We're going to go through the next ones a little bit faster. I just wanted to take more time explaining the first one here with you guys. So next one. 4 plus x equals 9. Draw what you have out on the left side first. We have 4, so 1, 2, 3, 4 tiles, and 1 variable, so a rectangle. On this side, we have 9 tiles. How do I get this x alone? How do I get this rectangle alone? Well, I need to put in 4 negatives so that I can cancel those out and get this variable alone. If I put in 4 negatives on this side, I've got to put in 4 negatives on this side. So what I do to one side of the equation, I must do to the other. Now I can start canceling out. 1 for 1, 1 for 1, 1 for 1, 1 for 1. We are left with our variable x equals, well, cancel these out first. And I'm left with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So x equals 5. 1 mark here, 1 mark here. Next question. We have 13 equals x plus 8. Equals x plus 8. So they've switched it up here, and they've just put the answer on the left side. It doesn't matter. We're going to do the same thing. We'll draw our line to separate. We've got our variable x shown right here. We've got positive 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And on my left side, I have 13. Draw those 13. And so now, how do I determine how many negatives I need to put in? Well, I need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 negatives to get rid of these so that I can get that variable alone. So put in my 8 negatives. Put in 8 negatives on this side. This side also needs 8 negatives. Check my work. Just to make sure. Now moving on, we can start canceling out. We know that there's 8 negatives here, so that's going to cancel with all of these. And over here we'll count to make sure. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 8 of these are going to cancel out with 8 of my positives. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. What am I left with? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Left with 5 positive tiles equals, all I have left here is my variable x. So this x should equal 5. Check your work. 5 plus 8 does equal 13. So 1 mark here for showing your work, 1 mark for your answer. Moving on to D. At any time, if we are moving fast, remember this is a video, so you can press pause if you want to take a minute to go through it as you're marking. The next one is x minus 3 equals 5. Draw your line to separate the two sides. And we have our variable x. This time we have negative 3, so you need to draw negative 3 tiles. Use those tiles that are shaded in. On this right side we have 5 positives. Remember, we need to get rid of what's on the side of the variable first, so we need to get rid of these negative 3. So I'm going to put in positive 3 to get rid of those. If I put in positive 3 on this side, I've got to put positive 3 on the other side. Now I can start canceling out. Cancel, 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 cancel. What am I left with on my right side? Well, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. What am I left with on my left? Just my variable x. So x equals 8. Check your work. 8 minus 3 does equal 5. 1 mark there for the answer. 1 mark for showing your work. 2 more here. On to E. So part E is x minus 7 equals 3. Separate it into both sides. Isolate our variable. Let's get it alone. So we draw our variable first, x, negative 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. What's on my right side? Well, positive 3 are shown. Now that I have my question drawn, I can go through my work. Going through it, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 negatives, so I'm going to have to put in 7 positives. After that, if I put 7 positives on my left side, I must do that to my right side. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I can now cancel out all my 0 pairs. Canceling out 1 for 1. And that should get rid of all of them on that side. I am left with my variable x, which is right here. And I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So x equals 10. 1 mark for your work, 1 mark for your answer. Checking it. 10 minus 7 does indeed equal 3. Last one here, guys. Moving on to F. Thank you for bearing with me as I draw these tiles. So we have 11 equals x subtract 2. Create that divider. On my left side I have 11 tiles. Bear with me here as I draw all of them. And on my right side I have my variable x, shown with a rectangle, and -2. To get rid of those two negatives, I need to put in two positives. So I want to get this alone. They cancel out. If I put in two positives on this side, I've got to put in those two positives on this side as well. I am left with my variable x. On this side, I am left with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 positives. So x should equal 13. If we go 13 subtract 2, we should get 11. 1 mark for your work, 1 mark for your answer. So you can see, there we go. So number 1, altogether, each question is out of 2 marks, 1 A, B, C, D, E, and F. Your total in number 1 should be out of 12 marks. Click on video 2 for question number 2 and 3.